Okay, so about a year and a month ago, right after Street Fighter V launched, Tim and I did a video on the channel that was Street Fighter V broken on launch, and we kind of hashed about how crazy of a launch it was, the problems they were having, and it was a very much like, well, you know, we hope things improve. And now we're kind of just looking back. Street Fighter V has been out for a year plus now, and we're going to look at the state of the game, how the community feels about everything, from pro to casual, the positives, the changes in the netcode, and the balance patches and stuff like that. And we're just going to chat about it.
Right. So ideally, we'll have Andre come on as well, because we're just trying to get basically as many different perspectives about this as possible. I'll tell you right now, I think the one thing that we're not going to do is we're not going to make this into like a bashing session. Like this is like a real open discussion. I know a ton of people in this chat are Street Fighter players, are FGC members. So like trying to keep it like semi-constructive.
Yeah.
Right?
So the point of this is just a discussional period, because we all, be it no matter how casually we play Street Fighter or Street Fighter V or Street Fighter 4, we all are fans of the franchise as a whole, very much so. And this is not about bashing Street Fighter V as a game. All games have their issues, but we want to just kind of just discuss where it is as a title. And you are free to interject in the chat about it. And and then, you know, when Andre's on, we'll get him in here. But let's start back from Season 1 when it launched. There was significant issues, the dreaded 8-frame delay. Lag or whatever. Let's talk about those early issues and how they compare to now.
So they brought that down, right? And all the tests I've seen say that, you know, it was living like between like 6.2, 6.5 now or something. People are still asking to bring that down. They still want a reduction in the input lag for that, because they want it in that sweet spot, which is typically more like 4 to 5 frames, which is what you'd find in just about every other fighter out there. The exception of actually a lot of 3D games don't use. They actually have like a really high frame lag, but that's just based on the way that their games are structured. So it feels different when we're playing a 2D fighter with characters we recognize, right? And I think that's been really hard for everybody with Street Fighter, is that we recognize it. We've been playing it, you know, since, you know, 1992 or whatever. So we're just so used to seeing and doing things in a very specific way. There's so much muscle memory there that the frame lag just feels weird. And there's always that dude who's like, you can tell the difference between 1 frame and 2 frames. Yeah, right. Humans can't do it. And it's like, if it just, you can tell when it just feels sluggish, or if it's not responding to you the way that something didn't before, right?
Sure.
And I think, like, I forget what it is. It's like 15 frames or something is like human response or something like that. I'm not a scientist.
You're not?
I know. Crazy.
This is fine. This changes everything.
Abort. Turn the channel off. You know, so people are still asking to bring it down just because they want to see more whiff punishing. Like, if you throw a move out there and you see it stick out too long, they want the ability to hit it. The second they see it, they want to react. And that's where I lie with it. In Slasher Flick, and I talk about it constantly, reaction. Like, we love reaction-based games. You know, I feel that's where I'm at my strongest, and he's definitely at his strongest there. His reaction time's stupid.
Because he plays at 0 frames. He's like a robot.
Exactly. Yeah. So like the stronger the game is reaction based, I think the stronger we are as players. Now the meta of the game right now really is structured around a lot of set play. So you get them into a certain position, and then you run like a certain set of plays, so to speak, to keep your advantage on them. Like, you just pressure down, you keep the set play going, round over, you took a whole bunch of damage, right? That's a different gameplay style for a lot of people, and some people want to play it, some people do not, right? So it's like, there is room for both, right? Like, Ultimate Street Fighter 4 had, you know, reactionary characters.
You keep calling it Ultimate, but it's Ultra.
But no, like, it had, basically, you had characters that you could play reactionary, and then it had characters that were set play characters. You could do both. Now we've removed the reaction side of things.
Yeah.
So I think I see their argument on why they want that reduction. I myself would still love to see it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Fetus says he's been playing Street Fighter 4 late at night, and that game is still popping online, even on PS3. Now, I will say, Street Fighter 2 for nostalgia's sake, is my favorite entry in the series. I didn't play a whole lot of 3. I did play a significant amount of 4, albeit just couch co-op. Or couch play. I never hopped online, never got in the competitive scene. I think that Ultra Street Fighter 4, because I got that in preparation for Street Fighter 5, and boy, I just think that you can't be much more of a flawless fighting game than Ultra Street Fighter 4. I just love the game. I love the way it plays. Me and Slasher Flake and Rock Sox, we played it at that place in Denver.
Akibara or whatever?
Yeah, I can't pronounce it.
Yeah.
Words.
Yeah.
Who is that, Gordy? Who is that?
Rainbow Heavy.
Rainbow Heavy Hype. Gordy, we're at 8:01. Is he online? Oh, who is that, Gordy? Who is it?
Oh, it's USUPGG.
USUPGG.
Only 2 Gs.
What is that?
I kind of like waiting to see what you'll do. So
Well, I wanna-
pushing it back longer and
just
longer.
dangle it, and because he's like,
I want to give them the shout out before we give them the hype,
Yeah.
so I know what's up. Is he online yet?
I got nothing online. I'll try again.
Yeah, give him, see what happens.
yeah. Give it a shout. Give it a shout out.
Yeah.
Does he have the same?
And while you're doing that, I'll catch up with chat here really quick. Yeah, that's the thing. You can lose 75% by getting hit once and being opened up. Certain characters obviously speak to that too well, where basically, one bad read and you lost 75% and you're stunned and you get to sit back and wait for the next, finishing move to come through. So I think that's tough. Like, people in the MKX world hated the 50-50s, and now we're in a position where we kind of have 50-50s the same way. You just can't react to him.
Okay, he's ready to go. We'll Skype him in right meow. Bear with us as we call the infamous A4Andre. And he's connecting. Oh, man, that's a sexy face.
Yeah.
Is there video? Do you have video of me?
I'll switch over.
We don't
see
have video of
myself.
you.
All right, let's try again. Oh, no, that's a picture.
Video's good.
Oh, there you
There
are.
we go.
All right,
There
we're going
we
to feed you into our thing here. You probably can't see shit, right?
No, that's okay though. Whatever.
Yeah, you can hear our sexy voices though. Can let us know in stream if you can hear Andre okay. Gordy, do you have it all set up there? Cool. That's awesome. Andre, you look beautiful.
Whoa,
No,
I didn't know
that's
we were getting the
sweet.
tank tops out today. Look at that.
It's
Flex
been
them
hot.
up.
You
Flex
guys,
them up.
you guys live in Colorado?
Drag him into the middle so you don't cover up my fucking dope hair.
Yeah, I told you put them in the middle, and then we can look at them
Yeah, be like it's like a fucking Brady bunch.
Yeah, totally.
So you can hear us okay, Dre? And everyone can hear
I
you?
don't know. Not chat.
Sweet. So, like I say, we I mentioned to you on Facebook, we are just having a discussion because we're 1 year later on the launch of Street Fighter V, and we want to get your opinions on where the game stands now post 1 year launch. If it's the positives, the negatives, season 2 patches, just your opinions on how you feel about the game. This far after, since you probably out of everyone we know, you play it the most, and you are the most active in the pro community.
Yeah, I hate this game. I definitely hate Street. Some days, so the top Japanese players, they often make fun of it. They call it duty fighter because they have to play it to make the money to win tournaments. It's like a duty. It's a job.
Yeah, it's funny you say duty though, and like that's not everybody's. It was duty booty.
What kind of things have you noticed since the season 2? Now they did the update for the newest patch with colon.
Colin.
With colon. Yep. Did that? How's that affected the game in your opinion?
So Colin is a fantastic character. When I say I hate the game, I exaggerate. There's
I
still
know
some
you are.
things to it. Colleen, whatever you call her, she's a cool
It's
character.
Colin, if we read it in the American way, Colin.
Yeah. They even say it. They're like, Colin wins.
Yeah.
But I think the changes are interesting. There's definitely some new characters. Everybody's main complaint is like Balrog, Laura, Urian. And I don't know if you guys have heard, but they've already announced season 2.5 patch. They're going to change it again, and that should be end of April, I think. So they're gonna shake things up again.
Is that the one that had the most recent patch notes that everyone's talking
Yeah, the
about?
patch
Is that?
notes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the patch notes dropped, which was cool because finally Capcom is like giving a little bit of insight, because like their communication has been shit with the community so far. So for them to like release patch notes in advance is kind of cool because we at least get to read it and look it over. But like the patch notes didn't seem to make everybody happy, right? Because it doesn't look like it's going to change the tier list a whole lot from where it's at currently. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so an interesting perspective, if I can go on a quick tangent, is that
Go on a tangent. Go on a long tangent, man.
So they promised us at EVO before Street Fighter V, the last Street Fighter 4 EVO, we all sat in this room and waited for announcements. They were like, this is what's going to happen with Street Fighter. We are not going to nerf any characters. We're going to buff characters. Yep. And the nerfing of characters, it makes sense. Like, you get why they do it. This is a problem. Let's resolve it by getting rid of it. But it discourages the player base. So if you're a Nash player, or you're an Alex player, or you're a Fang player, and your character gets worse,
you're a Ryu player.
I don't know why you, but yeah, if you're a Ryu player, they do mean things to your character, and it discourages you from continuing to play the game. Well, I think if you bring the whole cast up, or at least the lower level characters, to an even playing field, then I think you retain your player base from a business standpoint. You keep the enjoyability of the game super high. And then everyone says, well, what if everyone's too good? Then I think you can just lower the damage just a bit, right? If everyone, because that's what Marvel has, right? They have like 8 million damage combos, 300 hits. So you can just sort of lower the damage. But I think that the nerfing thing is really discouraging to character loyalists, which I think they should avoid if at all possible.
Oh, totally. I totally agree.
And let me ask you about that character loyalist thing, because like I remember you and I started like interacting and stuff heavy during like late in Street Fighter 4 cycle, like prepping for Street Fighter V, and you were a Geef player, a churner of the butter, and dude, season 1, I mean.
He was Amish as fuck.
Yeah, like but Geef was ass season 1, right? Everybody knows that. Like, he didn't have the tools to compete. Everybody's like, "Where's my green hand? Why has he got this?" Blah blah blah. Season 2, he looked pretty damn viable again.
Yeah. Season 2, he's actually been fantastic. The only reason why I didn't pick Geef back up is because I knew that there was another patch coming, and I just wanted to see who they were going to nerf and buff. And it turns out Geef is going to get significantly better in season 2.5 or whatever we're calling it. So I'll probably hop back on the Geef bandwagon. I don't consider myself a loyalist. I try to play the game to have fun and be entertaining for the stream. So, winning is important, but it's not everything. What about you? Are you going back to Ryu? Are you jumping back on? He's getting better. Your boy's getting better.
Getting better. Yeah. They made his light kick like a little bit further reaching. Oh, that was the only thing I was missing. No, definitely not.
What's the status on DPs now in 2.5?
So it's like a very button specific thing. So like when Street Fighter in the past, like for Ryu, if you did like a medium punch DP, it was invincible, right? And for Ken, it was a heavy. It was just invincible from the ground up all the way to the ceiling. And then they removed that, which is rough for some of us Shoto players to deal with, because they said that they didn't like it. Like, they kept saying they got all this community feedback on how they're like, I don't know, we don't like it. It changes the momentum of the game. And I think Ken was the big one with that, because if you got DP by Ken, he could instantly dash in and he could start his own thing, right? So they remove it, and now Shotos, I think, just kind of have to eat pressure. So what they're introducing is that if you DP with the light button now, then it's block invincible, right? And then basically the medium is supposed to be an anti-air, and then the heavy is going to go through normals and projectiles. Is that right?
Yeah, I think light is it's like better anti-air, and heavy is hit invincible, but it's only on frame 3, so it's not.
Yeah, so like if you hit a meaty pressure for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But that seems right. But you said block invincible. You made it sound like it was like unblockable. It's not unblockable.
Oh no,
right?
it's grab invincible.
Throw invincible.
Yeah, throw invincible. Yeah, my bad. Yeah.
No,
How dare you?
Yeah.
How
dare you?
Call me out on my own show, Dre.
Sir, how?
Let me ask you, Dre. So there were some recent possible leaks of what could be the rest of Season 2's cast. Now, they seem probably pretty legit based on community feedback. What is your impression? Because now, to the casual player, these characters are very obscure. To someone who maybe didn't play Alpha or Street Fighter 3 or some of these other games that like weren't big hitters in the series, so to speak, to a casual market. What are your thoughts there? Because I feel like that might scare off a lot of the casual players. Some of the characters I have not heard of, because I am not, I don't play the series as much as others. So some of those names, I'm like, well, who the fuck are they? So.
Yeah. Well, the leak just has a list of names, and there's a lot of theory on what the names can be. The only name that's like super associated with someone is a story mode character, and the story mode character is one of the dolls, so it's like a Cammy clone, but she's a samurai. And there's actually combo videos of her, and she looks cool. She looks very cool. I was hoping for more big bodies. I think something important to discuss, since we're on the subject, is like from a casual perspective, it's such a like negative connotation of the word casual perspective.
It is a negative connotation, but that's not at all how any of us mean it. Like, because I am every sense of the word a casual Street Fighter player. Right. I play it for fun on the couch with bros. You know,
Yeah.
I consider myself a casual in most cases. I haven't been to a tournament in quite a while, so these days I'm pretty casual. But I was just gonna say, from like your perspective, what do you think of like season 2 having no returning characters? Do you think that's a mistake, or do you think there's potential there? What do you think?
So I'll tell you this from my perspective. So I bought season 2 because I'm a huge Akuma fan, and I was excited about that. And I wanted the opportunity for them to redeem themselves in the roster wise, because I wasn't super jazzed on some of the people in season 1, but I was like, oh, they'll be back in season 2. Like, where the fuck's Blanca? You know, shit like that. So I thought for sure we're gonna see Sakura,
Just those legacy characters.
Sakura was like a character you said that a lot of people were clamoring for, and like I was a big fan of her too in Street Fighter 4. So like I am a little turned off. Like at this point in time, I regret my extra $30 I dropped on this game for characters that I'm not excited about, if that leak is true. I am very kind of off-put that they didn't put out bigger names. I thought they would for sure try to capitalize on newer people coming into the game. The big, I know Blanca. I've played him in Street Fighter 2. I think it's a weird business move, but I will, of course, give them a try. I'm not going to judge them before I try them. So that's where I stand with it. What do you think?
For me, I mean, so we're 2 characters in now, right? You get Colin and you get Akuma. I like Akuma. I think he's super fun to play.
Yeah, he's cool.
If I were to pick up the game and get serious again, I think that's probably where I would go, because even though like his health's kind of but I think he's like the top of the Shotos currently, and I'm sure people debate that, but is what it is.
Who's that?
Andre is now hosting this room.
Oh, thanks, Andre.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, I meant to do it earlier. Apparently, did you change the no, whatever. Sorry, go ahead. Finish that.
Yeah.
Oh, we did. Yeah.
Oh,
sorry.
yes,
Yeah.
I was like, I couldn't find you guys. I was like, I don't know. I've been trying to find you while you're talking.
Oh, yeah, we have a new Twitch. Sorry, dog.
So yeah, I think like Akuma was cool. Dre, we can talk about Colin a little bit, because the chat was asking about it right before you got in here, and what your opinion is of her character. It's super early to like really start to be like, oh, this is exactly where she falls anywhere. Like, we didn't see her in a final round, in any of the competitive play or anything, and that tends to happen in fighting games. Like you go watch like Killer Instinct, for example, you see a lot of Jago mains because people have had 3 years with him, as opposed to like a season 3 character where they've had 3 months, right?
Brutus has gone Ronin.
Oh,
Brutus.
let's give Brutus the follow hype real quick.
Right, Brutus.
You'll see that soon,
Yeah.
Drake.
Okay. Oh! That is so good. Sorry.
We've had that about 50 times. Right, so far.
Oh, shit, we got...
There's another one.
Yeah,
The
I
Shadow
host-
Virus.
Are these your people that are following?
Yeah,
Let's
this
give
is my squad.
one more follow hype. One more follow
Here's
hype.
the follow hype.
Dre, I don't think that Gordy said hi to you yet, but he's still here.
No.
Hi, Jordy. How are you, man? Still hidden somewhere?
Can't participate
He can't hear you.
in the conversation because I am not
A bitch?
Whoa.
Yeah.
No.
Sound system, so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There's only so many headsets to go around off the splitter there.
Who is it?
Minnesota Midnight.
Minnesota Midnight. God, Gordy's like, is this English?
Is this
The fuck is this?
A4 Jocelyn? Nice.
Okay, we're gonna save the follow hypes for a little
save
bit
it for later. Yeah, save it for later.
Yeah,
But
there's
let me say
plenty to
thank
go
you to
around.
everybody in A4 who's following. These are great guys. Make sure to check out their YouTube channel as well. Great fight stick reviews. They're casuals, but they're very entertaining. Please follow.
Oh, casual is the insulting word. There it was again. No, actually, we always take a very unique opinion on fighting games. Like, we try and be like a very casual approach to things, right? Because pros are super vocal. Like, you hop on Twitter and you can read exactly what they say, but they're invested in that. That's how they make their money to eat. right? They have to play the game. They have to be very invested in, you know, even 1 or 2, you know, frames can make a paycheck for those guys. So we like to talk about it from like a casual perspective on like if the game is still fun, because like a ton of people, for example, have dropped Street Fighter altogether, right? They're not having a good time with the game.
Now, let me interject there because since I don't play competitively, I don't play online because I just don't, you know, it's not my thing for this game. When you come over and we play it, or like if Gordy and I sit down and play it, I have fun with the game still. Like these types of things, like the frame delay, the lag and stuff, a lot of the character changes, I don't play enough for me to be able to notice. So from a casual standpoint, playing the game is still very much a fun time. But with each increasingly obscure character launch, I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to play that character. Like, I'll try it, but like I have no attachment to it like I do Ryu and Ken and Akuma and like Chun-Li and stuff like that. So I'm, you know, that's where I'm at when I play the game. But it's very interesting. Like if we talk about like Infiltration, like he's been a very vocal member of the pro, like the very much pro community. He's like, you know, I don't like this, I don't like that.
He's very, very clever about how he says he doesn't like things.
Yeah, he is clever.
Very cordial. But yeah, he's got all kinds of things to say about it. I was watching a couple of his videos the other day, and he sums up his videos. He says, you know, I don't appreciate this, and this, but you know, this is my home and I love it. So
sure, yeah.
I feel like a lot of us have probably been guilty of it. Like you badmouth Street Fighter along the way, but isn't that because of the passion? Right, because we've got so much time with this game. We've all loved it. We've all put in so many hours.
Yeah, it's almost like a betrayal to yourself if you're like, man, this sucks. You just feel shitty about it, you know?
But like Dre, like, I mean, where are you stand with that? Because I mean, like, you have a chat going every night with this stuff. People are talking about it.
Yeah, so like if we're gonna say the semi-competitive scene, the like whatever's in between casual and the Infiltration, like I think the community, the launch was shit. Like there's no sugarcoating it. There was no story mode. Things were broken. The netcode was bad. And I think
still no story mode.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of have story mode, right? We have character and we have story mode.
We have story. There's no arcade though.
Arcade mode. Correct.
Yeah, that's what everyone wants. Arcade mode.
Still no arcade mode. So I think most people who really love Street Fighter or fighting games in general are just like hoping that Santa Claus is real. Like we really hope the game gets better. And we're just going to continue playing it. Like I've actually been playing a ton of like H1Z1 on my stream, which I don't like. I'm not even. I used to enjoy shooters a ton, but the game gets exhausting. But I to speak to Adam's point, I agree entirely. Whenever I play, so my roommate Cisco, he's very bad at Street Fighter. He's worse than anyone in the street. But
the one and only Street Fighter tournament that I've played in that we were commentating, I lost to Cisco.
So, just to create some tier list there.
But yeah, when Cisco and I play offline, off stream, it is fun. But when I'm like grinding and trying to get higher in ranked or trying to prep, it's not enjoyable. That being said, I'm not giving up. I will not let go. It is my game. I just hope that they make some changes that need to be done. Like, did you guys know one person made the netcode? It's like one guy.
One dude.
Really?
Yeah.
One dude made the netcode.
Some Mark Zuckerberg type dude is like, I'll write all of Facebook. This guy's like, can anybody here do netcode? And he's like, I got netcode for dummies.
He went to write Facebook, but he ended up with a MySpace. That's interesting. How big is the team? Like, it's a relatively small team.
He's 1/3 of it. Yeah.
Isn't it like in terms of Capcom standards? It's a smaller team, is it not?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know all the details, but I would assume it's a smaller team if one guy's responsible for arguably one of the most important features of the game. But it's got the
arguably the worst feature of the game for some people.
It's really bad. But Sony, so you guys know Sony chipped in a ton of money. They were
that's why it's on PS4 and not on Xbox One. Like they basically funded it. So, I mean, we're not going to get a whole lot into Marvel because, like, we all play Marvel here for fun, but I don't know if any of us are like competitive or super deep in Marvel.
I
Trey?
I'm
not. I mean, I played vanilla. I played in 2 tournaments in vanilla. I'm bad.
Yeah, I'm totally bad, but I love it. Like, a fun game. But like, I think everybody's hope for Marvel is that it'll be a much different experience because it's got that Disney money, that Marvel money coming. Like, they wouldn't allow a bad product to come out. But apparently,
But wouldn't you?
we did the same thing with Sony.
I was gonna say, isn't Disney money comparable to Sony money?
I would
wouldn't you say?
imagine they're in that same ballpark.
Yeah.
They can write a check that cashes. Like, it does not bounce.
And it's always so strange to me to think about games like Killer Instinct, which is such an astronomically smaller budget, but the netcode is so pristine. You know, it's like
They did it right.
Yeah, and I'm like,
yeah.
what the fuck?
I mean, if I was making a fighting game and like it came time for netcode, I'm just gonna call up Killer Instinct and be like, what can we do to share this tech? Like, I need this information on my game, right? I will give you any credit, whatever is necessary to make that happen.
I've played a considerable amount of time Killer Instinct Online, and I think I've had like maybe on one hand I can count the issues I've had with lag. I'm like, it's just a near flawless experience. So I can't understand how a game that's significantly smaller in budget is the benchmark for netcode in fighting games when it took Mortal Kombat a year post-release before they got their netcode together. I assume Injustice will be fine. But Street Fighter V is still up in limbo for a lot of players, and it's just it's a baffling business move to me that they don't address that first.
Yeah. And like, we saw did you guys see all the video that was showing that like a PC versus a PS4, like you can force a PS4 to lag out?
Oh yeah. That's sort of been known for a while on PC. Is like if you open enough tabs or something that you can lag out PS4 players. I don't know how, but
oh really?
Yeah, it's weird. Like you're listening to some Spotify, and
is that how you're getting wins, Dre?
That's your Tinder
the only
up,
reason, right? Discord's going.
I would never Tinder on stream.
Yeah. That's a scumbag move. We would never try that. Right?
That's actually what we're going to do next. That's how we get our sub button.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Well, I told Dre we would have him on till 8:30, so we got a couple minutes left. So maybe we'll wrap up. Any final thoughts you want to have on the what do you think should happen in the future going forward for maybe a season 3 of Street Fighter V? What do they need to do for this to be a success in your mind, from casual all the way to infiltration? Yeah,
well, when you say season 3, I think that's an important distinction. I think in season 3 they have to bring back returning characters that people want. There's so many characters that they need to, and I don't think as someone committed to the game, I don't mind new characters, right? But I think for players like yourself who don't spend as much time, you don't play the game every day, you want returning, trademark characters. I think that was a huge oversight, and I think they should do that in season 3. I don't think they're going to do it in 2. Season 3 they should. And netcode is a huge thing for me. It's like you said with Killer Instinct. I think Killer Instinct using the free-to-play model was huge. I think their netcode is flawless. Skullgirls is like a $10 game on Steam. The netcode is perfect.
Is it? Yeah. Yes, you're right. Yes.
Even also when Skullgirls isn't perfect, you can make it perfect. It's the best part.
Oh yeah,
it literally has an adjustment. It's like you go into Skullgirls and it's like, yo, this dude's ping is a little off. Do you want to pull your graphics back a little bit? And you're like, yes, I do. So you can literally adjust your graphics on PS4, which is like typically like a PC only thing. Yeah,
that's way cool. That's such a oh man, fuck. That's what I have to say.
DJ Fei Long, Sagat, Oro, chat knows what's up.
I would kill for Sagat to make a return. Sagat and I meant to say Fei Long. I love Fei Long. I love me the Liu Kang, Bruce Lee characters in all games.
Yeah,
they're my boys.
Let's fuck up the chat. Let me know who you guys want in season 3. Returning Street Fighter characters, please let us know who you want. Blow up the chat. All in all, I feel like you've had me on for 20 minutes and I've said nothing but negative shit about the game. All in all, it still is a good game. I think season 2 was a mistake. The patch they made to season 2. I think season 2.5 they're trying to rectify some things. Not all the things, but they're trying to rectify some things. And they said they're going to support the game until 2020. I don't believe it, but I do think it's going to be a long-standing game, and hopefully they continue to make adjustments.
Is that so out of the question though? If you think about like Street Fighter 4, that ran for what seemed like 80 years. Street Fighter 2 had like 300 different editions.
Yeah, their life cycle's huge.
I mean, they're still making Street Fighter 2 editions, So
yeah, I'm waiting for the next one. Yeah, I'm super stoked for it.
So I feel like that's actually not abnormal to expect this game to be supported throughout 2020. I think that's probably pretty legit because they're very limited on. Okay, now it's time for Street Fighter 6. We're not going to Street Fighter 6 until like PlayStation's 12. you know.
Yeah.
They're talking about their checkered past of being like drug dealers, though, because in Street Fighter 4 you had to buy Super Street Fighter, you had to buy Arcade Edition, you had to buy Ultra. Like they resell you the same game, and their promise to us, the people, is that they're not selling us any more games. That this is the last one.
This is the one. Yep.
We're not going to squeeze any money out of it for the next 6 years. Which
okay. So also, sure, they say that, but then I still have put in 3 games worth of money in this one title already. So
I don't want to talk about how much I spent on Street Fighter. It's insane.
So if you think about it, if they support this game all the way to 2020 and seasons are as seasons are, we're looking at potentially a $500 plus game. So how are they not selling us fucking? We're not selling you more games. Well, I'm sure paying for it. You know?
Are you sure you're not?
Yeah, it's like
I'm giving you a
I
lot
think
of
that's
money.
a thinly veiled statement. They're like, we're not, but we are still fucking draining your butthole of all your money. You know.
So like Killer Instinct's got that free-to-play model, and we always talked about how I thought that'd be a perfect model for a lot of fighting games to adapt.
I think it's a fucking flawless model. I know a lot of people don't think that, and when it first announced Killer Instinct was going to be free-to-play, I was like, fucking Bollocks! Yeah. That's going to be the cheesiest...
I got British, I was so pissed.
That's going to be the cheesiest thing I've ever seen. But then, it turns out it was a fantastic business model, and it allowed them to be able to stretch the game out for 3 years and keep it fresh. And I think that's the way games have to go. If you're going to be a fighter and you're going to keep updating content for years to come, you have to be free to play. Otherwise, consumers are spending console types money on one game. $500 for Street Fighter 5? Come on, that's ridiculous.
It could get there.
It
very easily could get there. It's on pace for it.
Yeah. But
I have questions for you guys before I dip out of here. The new fighters. Adam, I want to ask you about the 2 new fighters. We've got Injustice and Taken 7 on the horizon. I'm really excited. I'm really excited about the
particular set of Skittles.
Taken 7. So I have a mixed bag of hype for Injustice 2. So I like NRS games. Obviously, like Mortal Kombat is like one of my highest loved franchises of all time. I'm not super hype on Injustice 2 at the moment because of their roster choices. They went to pick like Street Fighter 5, very obscure DC choices, and I'm not like a huge DC guy. Like Batman, fuck yeah, my highest rated comic book series of all time.
Yeah.
But when outside of Batman and like his range of people like Catwoman and all Harley Quinn and the Joker, and it's Superman a little bit, I don't know much about DC characters. So when they start launching in like Dr. Fate and fucking Johnny Firehat,
Johnny Flamehat, and Johnny Flamehat's ready to go.
I'm like, okay, sweet. Like I don't know. Like it's like we were saying with anime fighters, I have no attachment to those characters, so I'm not like super jazzed about playing it.
Like even if your game's great, I can't get attached to a dude that's like half of a bed, half of a human. Like it's confusing for us, right?
Yeah.
I don't have a hat that makes fire, so like I can't get attached to that guy.
Yeah. But I am a billionaire that wears a bat suit, so
exactly.
I can.
But I'm a shitty martial artist, so like I connect with Ryu currently.
But I am excited about Tekken 7.
So excited. I was just going to say, Tim, different question for you because I don't care if you're going to play these new games. I want you to play Street Fighter 5. What's the next tournament you're going to? Are you going to travel? Are you going to enter more tournaments? Are you going to get good? How long till you're not a casual? And put R24
okay, first off,
on the
how many
map.
tournaments did you go to last year?
Well, I made it out of pools at Evo, so
so one. Just one. Okay.
I probably.
Okay, now to be fair,
do you go to the locals?
Okay, it took me 3 tournaments to get as many wins as you got in that one day. I have not been going to locals. I'm not playing a lot of Street Fighter these days. I'm
He's
one
playing
of those
Zelda.
guys, No, I'm one of those guys that's having like a really hard time enjoying the Street Fighter experience. Like I'm Shoto through and through. Like I love being a Shoto.
Those are my favorite characters too. I identify with that.
And just like the truth be told, like I'm just not good enough currently to overcome some of those Shoto problems. Right? Like I follow A4 guys, follow me, I follow them, and some of them have just like amazing attitudes. Like Brutus, for example, right? He's always posting his 12-year-old knowledge, something of like, he's like, listen, man, he's like, if I see a problem, I just go and fix it. And I'm like, why the fuck can't I DP through that? Come on. So I have a hard time not just getting tilted by the game currently. But that's just like, you go back all the way to Street Fighter 2, and like that's how I expect that character to play. So if I want to get good, the first thing I need to do is just respect it as a new game, start all over, and start playing that game, right? Because it's not Street Fighter 2. The next tournament I will be at is Combo Breaker.
We're actually all going to Combo Breaker. Yeah,
I think I might go. Good.
That'd be hype.
You think you might? Is that a no? Is that a Dre no?
I'm not good enough to win. It's discouraging to me to like do fun. My stream will pay for me to go, but I feel like I let them all down if I don't like get top 8 at least.
Because they'll pay for you to go, but the only way you won't let them down is if you hang out with the R24 crew and you come to Galloping Ghost Arcade and we play some old school Street Fighter games.
Yeah.
That's how you'll win Combo Breaker.
So yeah, no. Go ahead. But to answer your question, no, I haven't been down to the. So we have locals Thursdays down at Boss Stage Arcade. I work during that time, so I stopped going to those. I loved going. I thought it was fun. But man, sometimes you go to a local, and not to knock them, but like you show up and there's only a couple of setups, right? So I'd get out of work, I'd drive down. It's about 45 minutes, hour away from me. You go in, I'd play like one match, and then the tournament would start. And then, you know, Devin the Human is in chat right now. The guy's like a stupid good Dhalsim. So, like, I would play him 0-1, you know, and then, like, oh, you get Zach round 2, and I'm like 0-2. And then I'd sit around for 2 hours and be like, well, I got 3 games in, so I'm probably going to get on out of here now.
Time to hit the old trail.
It's already 9:30.
So enlighten me with your perspective then. So you're going to Combo Breaker, and you don't anticipate you're going to make top 8. You're going for the footage and the media? Or are you going for the experience?
You didn't even register for Street Fighter.
Yeah. So honestly, I've always had like a distinction with these, and you can, like, Adam can confirm this, is that there's a big separation for me. So like, yes, fight games are a huge part of the channel. Like, obviously we do the fight stick reviews and we're doing content, we're talking about it constantly. The competitive side for me, I haven't pulled into the channel really at all. Like, I mean, like, I went to like SCR and stuff, you know, and I tweet stuff while I'm there, but I'm not like making a whole lot of videos on it anymore. Like, don't get me wrong, like when Street Fighter came out, like, I put in everything. Like, I was like a daily player for several hours, and I leveled up a ton. I'm just having a hard time enjoying the game because, like I said, it's not what I was hoping that it would be.
And that's what it comes down to, competitive to casual. If it's a video game, when you strip away all the nonsense, if it's not fun, what is the point of playing it?
Right.
You
know? But, you know, in terms of like tournaments and stuff, so last year alone, I did like Winter Showdown, Boss Battle, Combo Breaker, Evo, SCR, and then, you know, like locals and stuff. So I did quite a bit, you know, like for a competitive year. That was a little taxing on the old bank account. And I learned a bunch, like met a ton of cool people, leveled up a ton. I'm just having a hard time with that game specifically. So currently I'm registered for Killer Instinct and Tekken because I'm incredibly excited for Tekken. I've had a chance to play it at a few different tournaments now where they've got the setups. I went down to round 1 the other day. Like, I literally drove, you know, the hour and 20 minutes to go play on the Tekken 7 cabs. Yeah, it's way down, like basically South Denver for us. So like, I drove down there to play. Like, I really still want to be like a competitive member of the FGC. Like, I want to break that casual hump, you know, where I'm just some free scrub in pools. But it's like, for me, being a family man too, I've only got so much time to dedicate to like one game, you know. So maybe it's Tekken, maybe it is Marvel when it comes out. I don't know. It could still be Street Fighter, you know, wait and see what the patch brings. But I haven't been playing it lately. Yeah. So I need to change my mindset on it, truth be told. I know that. Yeah. Like, if I want to play it,
Things
I just
can
need,
change.
Yeah, I just need to accept the game for what it is now if I want to start making that jump.
For sure.
So,
but
properly rep that A4 tag that you generously gave me. Yeah.
But side note, who thinks that fucking A4Andre should join us at Combo Breaker and shoot some dumb videos and get a little dumb, bang some weird Chicago hookers and shit, say so in chat.
What Chicago Tinder game is like.
But anyway, I think we'll probably call today on that. We have a fight stick to give away, so